Hey, Craig, let's get into some coffee talk.
Hey, I love it. I love doing some coffee talk.
Well, talk about what?
Dogs, daughters, whatever. It's coffee talk.
Coffee talk. Oh, coffee. Coffee. Cough. A coughing talk?
A coughing talk. You can't cough these days.
No, you will be frowned upon in
Would
stores.
would you say that it may be more alarming if you cough out loud at the store than if you went in and shot a gun up in the air?
No, Mr. Craig, I
No?
wouldn't say that.
Close?
My favorite part of Wednesday's episode is when I think Kim was saying, gosh, I don't even remember.
Is this where you
She
threw me
was-
under the bus?
Yes. And I
Yeah?
said, do you know Mr. Craig? She said, I know a lot of Mr. Craigs.
It was a great episode.
Dude, that was
She
so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have tears in your eyes. I think you just watched that clip
I think I
11
watched it
million times.
It was so funny.
11 million. Yeah.
Oh.
So,
But you know what was awesome?
Yeah. hmm
Well, we do this all the time, right? Was the interview with Garrett J. White that we recorded yesterday?
Yeah.
And Kim talked about a lot of the same stuff. One of the same themes from both was this idea of framing, right? Right? Like all these stories and stuff that we have in our past,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
And you determine what's going to happen. The most challenging part. What did I think Garrett said? We could go to him. Garrett said was the 6 inches between these ears. Right.
That's right.
Got to be careful when you're
You
dealing
got to
with-
be careful because now we're getting into next week's coffee talk.
Oh,
But with
true.
Kim,
Yeah.
I definitely think, yeah, man, it's all up in our dome. It kind of goes back to the insurance dudes creed, if you will, what we
The
did on
manifesto.
Monday, the manifesto.
Mm-hmm.
Because like these are the things we need to be, and we need to tell ourselves what we are, so that we can be those people. Like even when we were writing that, it's like we're not that 100%. It's what we strive to be. And
Yeah.
we have to tell ourselves, and we have to build that frame to be the people that we want to be.
Sure. I heard somewhere, imagine like before every call as a producer or every sales call, whoever is involved in those calls, that you pause for just a moment, close your eyes, visualize the outcome of that call, then get on the call. How
Yes.
different would it be every day if before every call you're doing that? 100% that there would be an improvement.
Yeah.
They've done studies with basketball, right? With where they take three different groups. One that visualizes shooting the basket, doesn't do any practice. One that practices shooting the basket, and one that does both. The one
Yep.
that does both outperforms everybody. The one that visualizes does better than the other one. So it's just remarkable how powerful this supercomputer we have up here.
Yep.
Mine's probably not a supercomputer anymore.
It's super.
Yeah, it's super.
Yeah, it's like the elite dudes call that we had this week, and Greg brought up that our team does this, and you even brought up your team does this, is that you always go over the objection training and everything, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, your goal is not to do a quote. Your goal is to close them. Like that's where the mind needs to be. Like you can go over objections all day long, right?
Right.
But like
Yeah.
your mindset is, I'm just going to do the quote. You do the quote and it's done. Like
Yeah.
that's not the mindset. The mindset is, I'm going to close this person on this call. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like my goal is, and that's in their best interest, in my belief, because how much time does someone put into getting a quote? Dude, if they're getting even a 10-minute quote from 3-4 different people, what a waste of time. And if you
Yeah.
know that you can offer them the best thing possible, then you owe yourself and you owe them to try to just finish it and not to put this thing off.
Finish him.
finish him.
Yeah,
Mortal
but
Kombat.
100%, 100%. And think about it. If we're like, hey, I just have to do another quote, you're focusing on the process and not the outcome, and you've got to focus on that outcome. Where are you trying to get? In the olden days we call it a goal, right? But the
Yep.
outcome, the goal, whatever, your end result. What do you want to get to? And I think that there's, I even know specific people that I won't even name that where it's constant. They'll even prep it with, oh, I don't want to think like that because then I'm going to be disappointed. Like, I mean, it's remarkable that you can come up with an excuse to not put yourself in the right frame of mind. And we all know if you're in the right frame of mind, you're going to perform much better, right?
It's like a few weeks ago, and I forget who it was that said it, because I think I might have Alzheimer's, but they were talking about
Old timers.
how it's every single no is it's how we perceive it. Every single no is that closer step to a yes. Like we're gonna hear a ton of no's. If you don't hear the no's, you're never gonna get to the yes. It's
Yeah.
not a failure. It's one step closer to the goal. It's however
Yeah.
you perceive it, but that's the name of this game, right, Mr. Craig?
Well, shoot. To bring in another one, yet another episode, David DeFord
Ooh.
brought that up nonstop, right?
Yes.
Look, like you have all these, you have a
Had
select
to.
group of people who will say, "Hey, look, oh, this one's a really good one, and this one's a really good one." They're looking at their 6 quotes and they're, just obsessing over getting these things just right. When,
Yep.
hey, look, you need to have so many that it doesn't matter when one slips away. You need to have so many where you're not arguing with somebody else or you're mad that the call center took it or whatever. Who cares? It's one quote. Move on. If you're doing
Do
10,
it.
if you're doing 10 quoted households a day, you're quoting 20, 23, actual quotes a day. Who cares? You got too many. It's overflowing. And that's where you want to get to because then it doesn't matter, right? It will just happen.
Yep.
And we're too busy working on this, like, oh, I got to know, I got to have the knowledge instead of I need to do the work that serves my result. You
100%.
froze. Look at you. You should
I
see how you're
froze.
frozen. Oh, there you are. There you are.
Well, I was
Um,
practicing my I don't know, some
yeah,
moves.
you're frozen. So this is the other thing, and for everybody listening, we've really tightened up the YouTube channel, the Insurance Dudes YouTube channel, where there's little. We talked about this in the Elite Dudes meeting on Wednesday. There's at least every day, hopefully there should be a quick little cut from one of the people that we've interviewed, and that's going to give you an actionable idea. We have people ask all the time, what should I talk about in my meeting? You guys do meetings every day? I mean, we do 2 meetings a day. I don't do it consistent. I'm not as consistent as I need to be with the 2 meetings, but we definitely have one every single morning. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't even know what to talk about. It's like, hey, grab one of those videos, watch it's 5 minutes, and it's going to give you an idea to talk about. And you can say you came up with it. I don't care.
Right.
What Jason cares. So don't tell Jason. But
I
otherwise,
won't
no,
even listen.
yeah, he doesn't care. Yeah, I was just kidding. So, but really good, actionable information that you can bring to them and execute that day. So good stuff. And while you're
Good
there,
stuff.
subscribe while you're there, because I think
Oh,
you
that's a
get it first.
coffee.
That's a coffee
That's a
talk,
coffee talk. Yep. Just subscribe. Subscribe.
please.
Subscribe.
Hey, you've got to check out the Insurance Dudes Inner Circle coming soon, where you get extended interviews as well as live coffee talks in our private Facebook group. Join the mailing list today at theinsurancedudespodcast.com. Hey, thanks for checking out the Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.